Aquarius, welcome to your reading. We're going to do a North Star today. It's the sort of beginning of a new phase straight after the eclipse tunnel when I'm recording this. So we're going to look at how, and I think it's Neptune moving into Aries. So we're going to look at how you can orientate yourself to your North Star. It's a quick reading, and add some we'll add some oracles at the end. So here you are in the idea of your North Star. We've got the 10 of Wands, the 7 of Pentacles, and the World for you in the idea of getting aligned to your North Star. Such a lovely evening. It's our first long evening of the year. It's such a great feeling. And what root skills have you got to support you in finding your North Star? 4 of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Knight of Cups. What do you need to let go of? Oh, Aquarius and red car people. One's just gone past. I'm going to take that as a meaning. What do you need to let go of? 10 of Pentacles. That's interesting. And how do you orientate yourself to your North Star? 9 of Cups. That's your instructions and where it's all leading. Wonderful. 6 of Wands. That's so lovely. Right, let's dive in. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't do that when I'm recording on a mic. So, here we have you. Sorry, my sleeves are getting in the way. Here we have you with these 3 cards in the idea of aligning to your North Star. I feel like for a long time you've been trudging on with the 7 of Pentacles and with the 10 of Wands. So 7 of Pentacles is when you work tirelessly at something without giving up. The 10 of Wands is when you are very burdened with work. So it sort of indicates somebody that is prepared to put the hard work in and could be a bit obsessive, dare I say it, or a bit workaholic. But certainly things might have started to feel a bit burdensome, but you're prepared to do it in order to put yourself in the middle of this wreath of success, which I love when we see what's coming up in the outcome. So there is a sense of real dedication to this pursuit, understanding how important it is, and maybe having reached a point in your life where you're prepared to accept that you deserve that. You deserve to be in the centre of your world. Maybe for a long time you haven't been. You might be at a point where you're going, okay, I understand that it's not bad for me to get what I need. It's actually good for everyone around me, my family, my community, and I'll be able to contribute more. Now, your root skills with the 4 of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Knight of Cups are wonderful. So there's this sense of being able to hold on, which I see in that 7 of Pentacles and in that 10 of Wands, a real persistence. It could mean being stuck in some senses, but when I see it with... oh, that's my neighbour who plays football. When I see it, when I see you holding on like that, but with the Magician and the Knight of Cups, it sort of says to me that you can hold on really strongly to your magic, to your will, this will where you have all of these different means at your disposal on his table. You have every element that you need, and will and focus and intent, and also a will to bring something beautiful to other people, something that you love. So it shows me both a heart-centered and a very persistent magician-y kind of energy, which is admirable. It's wonderful. So you have all the goodies, as it were, which is lovely. What you need to let go of with the 10 of Pentacles, this is interesting. I think what this is saying is you might have been worrying about legacy, generational wealth, your whole community. At the moment, in order to get to your North Star, I think it's more about putting yourself in the middle of this. It will probably end up being good for everyone else. I think you need to not put the family, the community ahead of yourself. Contentious, but that's what it's saying to me. And also not put the idea of money over everything else, if that's what you have been working on. With, again, that 10 of Wands, it might have been that you've been in a kind of career where it's all about cash. That might not be your North Star at all. Here, in the idea of how to find your North Star, you've got a wish. You have a wish fulfillment coming up with the 9 of Cups. It needs to be the way that you're going to find your North Star is going after what you've always wished for, what is deep in your DNA, what is your sort of shooting for the stars. It's like kind of the idea of what you would really wish for if you dared to wish. It's a really happy energy. I just love that. Look at him. Let's see what I'm seeing here. His stripy pyjama, sort of, everything's stripy. He looks so happy. His legs are open, a bit like the Queen of Wands. So there's sort of a sense of commanding, I don't know, a nod to her, because that's what I'm saying. But so what have you always wished for? That's what you need to go after. And where is it all leading? To the Six of Wands. This is incredible. This is you getting exactly what you want. This is you being in the center of that wreath of success and achieving what you need. There's an incredibly determined look on this chap's face. He's sort of frowning away. And the horse almost looks that kind of determined. There's a grit. The grit that I see with you in the Ten of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. There is a grit to you, and you are going to get it. And it's something to do with what you've always wished for. This is amazing. Right, to fill this reading out a little bit, in fact, it's not oracles I'm using. It's two other, I said oracles before, but it's two other decks that are both tarot, but they have different tones. One's very whimsical, one's quite dense. So what have we got here? Weaver of Boons. Let's have a look at her. I don't know this card very well. She hasn't come out for a very long time, if ever, for me. It's interesting when that happens. So Weaver of Boons, what part of the reading is she sending us to? Here she is. I hope you're enjoying this evening as well, wherever you are. So what do I see here? There's a little black cat on her windowsill in the background. She's barefoot, which I love. I like to do that. There's a beehive, all sorts of, and a magical sort of bag, which reminds me of a medicine bag with all sorts of incredible ingredients and a feather. Right, the Weaver of Boons knows just what you need. When you visit her cottage in the forest clearing, the aura of peace and plenty embraces you. This witch is magic, is earth-centered, the virtues of plants, the secrets of stones, birds and animal lore, the dance of the seasons. She treasures both the wildness of the woods and the beauty of her well-tended garden. She is the preserver, nurturer and healer, feeding both body, spirit with motherly love. This is so lovely. If this card does not represent a particular person, it can indicate the need for some common sense, an offering of comfort and care, or a monetary windfall. That's a bit like the Nine of Cups. And her traits are earthly sensuality, a merry nature, motherly, a generous heart grounded in practicality, protective of family and community. So that's interesting, because you've been shown here that you actually need to slightly let go of family and community. So it might be saying that there has always been these traits in you, and they are admirable, they are beautiful. But I want you to know, I guess what the cards are saying is that you can do that, but what about turning that energy to yourself, giving those gifts to yourself, not necessarily concentrating on the community now, but actually mothering yourself is what I feel we're talking about. Now, let's get a card from the, what are they called? The Shining Tribe Tarot. We've got two. What have we got? Six of Birds and the Hanged Woman. Wow, I haven't seen the Hanged Woman for ages. Look at that, for a version of the Hangman. It's incredible. It's slightly reminding me of a book called Go Dog Go, which I used to read when I was a little girl, and it has these incredible trees in it, and at the end they have very trippy trees. It's for children, it's a picture book, and at the end they have a party in the trees. I don't know if that's going to be relevant, but so obviously we're talking about perspective shift with the Hanged Woman, and then with the Six of Birds, let's have a look. Let's start with the Six of Birds, because that came out first. So Six of Rivers, Ace of Birds, Five of Birds, Six of Birds. So this is the power of dreams, especially sacred or psychic dreams, opening doors to the unknown, taking special steps to seek healing or change, trust in intuitive understanding. And I know, because I've read this card a few times, there must be a lot of dream work going on. Recently it keeps coming up And it talks about temples where they found sleeping women statues, which make them think that priestesses used to go there to do sort of healing work or retrieve information from the dream state. And I'll just read you a tiny bit of this. It says, dreams can initiate us just as if we've gone to an esoteric master. A woman in class I taught dreamt she met a jaguar filled with light. The jaguar led her into a room where an altar stood. When the dreamer walked to the altar, the jaguar became a radiant woman who placed a crown on the dreamer's head. We did a reading for this dream. The woman mixed the cards, and then for each significant moment in the dream, we turned over a card. When we got to the part where the radiant woman placed a crown on her head, the card was the High Priestess. This reading made it clear that the dream was a genuine experience of spiritual power. I wonder whether you've had, with the Knight of Cups, this is your root skills, some sort of dream. That would be the most dreamlike out of all of these cards here, apart from the wish fulfillment of the Nine of Cups. But it's interesting that we're being indicated that sleep and dreams, sleep and dreams. Maybe you've been working very hard and you need a bit more of that. Maybe there's some instruction coming to you from the dreams. Maybe you want to do some active dream work. Put some mugwort under your pillow, ask for messages in your dreams about your North Star, something like that. And then let's have a look at the Hanged Woman, which is also a different kind of perspective, isn't it? So, here we go, the Hanged Woman. And this is the divinatory meaning. Attachment to what truly matters, inner peace, independence from public opinion or pressures from others, especially when joined with the Fool, confidence in your own values, reversal of previous ideas, sometimes the need to sacrifice or give something up. Okay, so what we need you... Oh, I've been holding up the wrong one. So what we need you to sacrifice and give up here is the family. But we're asking you to attach to what really matters, inner peace and independence from public opinion or pressure from others. So maybe you have always been... Hello, Pidge. It's really having a look at me. Maybe it thinks I've got some food. Hi. I know, it's bedtime nearly. Maybe you've always been somebody who's put others in front of you. I think that's what I'm seeing. And you're being asked to go into a sort of dreamy hanged man world where you, A, connect with what you've always dreamed for, and B, connect to other realms and maybe have to give up a little bit of your self-sacrificingness, I think. And what does it say here? The earliest tarot decks bear very little resemblance to the classic Tarot of Marseille. At the other end of the tarot's evolution, many modern decks have changed virtually all the images, and yet Trump 12, the Hanged Man, instantly stands out from every deck. Give a deck to a friend who knows nothing about the cards, and they will very likely turn the hangman up the right way. To the outside world, a person with sacred values may seem upside down, backward, wrong way around. This behaviour and concerns are different from those of society. Worse, the person simply may not care what others think. So that makes sense. Okay, now I'm getting it. So this represents community, and this is what you were being asked to give up. You've got to give up caring what your community thinks of you in order to follow your own dreams. Now, it might just be that you've got to get a little bit wacky and people won't really understand it. Rather than being over-caring, maybe it just means fully becoming yourself, and that means potentially people finding it a little bit tricky. So she says, I've added details. The Hanged Woman is so compelling because she shows us the tarot's great secret, that we achieve genuine independence when we attach ourselves to the rhythms of the universe. We achieve genuine independence when we attach ourselves to the rhythms of the universe. That's this gift of this woman, this weaver of boons. She's talking about natural things that she's giving us. That's her gift to us. In the number 12, we find the reverse of 21, so that would be the world. Her red body symbolises vitality, while her golden hair signifies revelation. Her hair reaches down to the water, as if her ego has literally poured into the sea. Some Kabbalists assign the meaning of water to this card. Having broken through our limits in the spiral of fortune and accepted justice, we become willing to dissolve the artificial barriers between ourselves and the rest of existence. Surrender is not solemn or grim, it's playful, joyous. We see a kind of children's version of this card. It's funny because that's what it's making me think of with this children's book. With the sun and the moon as toys hanging from the tree, a miniature Noah's Ark flying a lunar flag, an angel reading a letter or a book, and even a city, for the tree of life contains many regions and experiences. At the upper right, we see the goddess figure, reminiscent of the so-called Venus of Willendorf, the world's oldest known sculpture, approximately 30,000 years old. A multicoloured fish leaps from the water, recalling the high priestess as well as tradition. The revered posture figures in various spiritual disciplines, notably yoga, where practitioners stand on their head. For men, this involved the idea of the semen travelling down the spine to the brain and bringing revelation. In the tarot, the change is less physical, more symbolic of reverse battles. The milk of her breast will flow down to the sea, signifying that all of us, men as well as women, experience true joy when we nourish the world around us. So you are nourishing the world around you, but the way that you get to that is through changing your perspective, being more yourself, and then you can be recognised by your community. You will bring your true gifts. I just want to see if there's one final... I normally have the teeny tiny tarot, but I've come out without it. So let's just see if there's any further comments, any part of the reading you'd like us to focus on. 5 of Swords. You might have to have some uncomfortable battles. What do you mean by that? What part of the reading are you talking about? 5 of Swords and Empress. Yeah, there might be some uncomfortable battles in order to become this Empress. That would be a symbol of success for me. Pick your battles. They might not be very enjoyable, but maybe you have to do it. Maybe you have to be prepared to stand up to your community in order to become fully able to sort of manifest and be useful and generate. You have to be prepared to be fully yourself. That was a lovely reading. See you again. Bye.